Hi, I'm Alyssa Ramos, managing editor of Sparks Magazine. You're going to watch an interview with Will Jay, singer-songwriter and musician. Thank you to Jay for taking time out of his day to speak with us. All right, so what was your first experience with music, and did you always want to pursue music as a career?
I'd say so. I was maybe 5 years old. I think that was my first memory, and I was just playing the piano in my garage. My uncle gave me one. He was a piano teacher, so that's like some of my earliest memories. So I think I always knew that I wanted to do it. Obviously it's evolved since then, and I've tried a lot of different things within the realm of music, but I'd say I've always known for sure.
Definitely. So many of your songs are about the marginalization of Asian Americans. So what was the inspiration behind Gangsta and Leading Man?
Gangsta. Well, I think Gangsta's a little more like subliminally. I think that song is just kind of about how I don't really fit into the mold of the traditional alpha male and how I'm kind of rejecting that kind of outdated archetype. And I guess to that point, Asian men are probably the most emasculated of anybody. I think we are looked at as very feminine and very not like traditionally, male. And so I guess it works on that angle too. And I guess in my life too, I've always felt just kind of not particularly feminine, and that's a byproduct of that. So I suppose, yeah, I suppose subconsciously all of my songs kind of have since being Asian American is such a huge part of my experience and who I am, it kind of plays into the songs I write, which is actually cool. I didn't think about that until just now. Leading Man is one that's definitely about that. And I was just kind of really tired of hearing, I feel like every week I was reading a story about another movie that was coming out with another part that should have gone to an Asian American and didn't. And I just wrote that song. I think on the surface the song can kind of act as a love song. I'm just saying like, oh, I'm better than, your boyfriend or whatever. But I wrote that song, like the perspective of it is me writing to Hollywood, like I can be your leading man, so stop.
Definitely.
Stop with the problematic.
So what was the response like for Leading Man?
It was honestly one of the most rewarding things that's ever happened to me. I think, I've been doing my own music and, I've been putting out songs I liked and I thought were fun and catchy and, and people loved them. But that was a different kind of appreciation that reading comments and, a lot of like young Asian American actors and singers and really anyone in the entertainment industry, like, or just regular people, writing that this like really inspired them to speak out or to, continue fight. I got one comment from a girl who was like, this song meant so much to me because I'm a plus size model and I'm told all the time that I can't do anything. And so watching this reminded me that I can, do anything I set my mind to. And that like was so powerful to me that I could do something bigger than myself, and make something that makes a real statement and hopefully resonates with people. It wasn't meant for just Asian Americans. Yes, it was about whitewashing, but it's a, a statement on just breaking the mold and doing something outside of, what society deems as, right or what works. So it was just so rewarding, and it reminded me that like I should make art that means something and has a real message. I think that.
Have you ever considered going into acting?
Definitely. I mean, I did acting when I was younger, and then I joined a band and we started touring, and so I kind of put it to the side, and I'm getting back into it. It's definitely something I enjoy. I would say music is always the primary focus and will always be the priority, but if I got like a Glee-like role, that'd be amazing. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be great.
Yeah, hopefully it would be, seeing Harry Shum Jr. on Glee was like a huge thing for me. Just seeing like someone, well, he didn't sing that much, but just seeing someone on a show that was like music oriented and also acting was really nice. And I would love to do something like that. I think that'd be really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, so what kind of obstacles have you experienced while trying to pursue your music career?
Are you referring to like because of being Asian American or just in general?
Just in general, and then how are you trying to overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I wish that it wasn't this way, but that's definitely the main one. I've experienced a lot of people telling me, I'll walk into a meeting and someone will be like, Oh, so tell me your strategy for Asia. And what's interesting is that born and raised American. Yes, I'm Asian American, but I didn't really think too much about that, and I didn't think that I do consider myself an American first, and so to be told like you have to go somewhere else, it's kind of weird. So I'd say that is the main obstacle, and I definitely look at it now as it used to bother me a lot, but I look at it now as just as something that will make it that much more special when I do make it and when it happens, because there really isn't a lot of Asian Americans really succeeding in music. I mean, there's a lot of us, don't get me wrong, like on YouTube and doing our thing as musicians, but like in popular culture, I would say, on the charts, you don't see a lot of it. So it's just really just fuel to the fire. Honestly, I look at it now as the opportunity to be the first of something, as opposed to being sad that there isn't someone. Yeah, I'd say what I'm doing to overcome it is just continuing. I suppose I think it's very easy to give up, and I have a lot of friends who are very discouraged and who don't think that there's going to be an Asian American to really break through anytime soon. And I mean I'm going to carry on with the attitude that if everyone thought that way, then it'll never happen. So definitely. Yeah.
And what are your main influences for your music?
Influences? I've got a lot. I love all kinds of music. I grew up listening to Elton John and Billy Joel, and so I mean the piano guys, and I play the piano, so that's like the main one. But I think I pull, like, especially with the new music, like I pull from such a wide influence. I spent 3 years in middle school, I only listened to hip hop. And so I kind of drew from like the kind of how playful like some of those rappers were with I wasn't listening to like gangster, like hardcore rap. It was more of like the jazzy leaning stuff, like the 90s, like A Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul, and like just a little more like fun. And so I pulled from that, and then I got into jazz within the last 3 years, and so like listening to Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and it kind of is a melting pot of all that. So, but I love everything, and I think definitely too, going off your last question, now with a lot of the new music, I'm actually pulling from, I guess, what's going on in the world, I suppose, to like write. I didn't think for a long time that I could write about something like I wrote about Leading Man. I didn't think that was a song that could be a song. I just thought it was something I could have a conversation about, and I could think about it, but it wouldn't translate into a piece of art. So it's been kind of cool to realize I can really write about anything I want.
Is there a favorite song that you'd recommend people to listen to?
Of mine? Mm-hmm. Probably Gangsta. That's only because it's my new release. I feel that way about everything I release, honestly. Like I put it out and it's like, that's my new favorite. But I think Gangsta, in terms of the tone of it, obviously the music, it's definitely my most musically fun thing, but the tone of it and kind of where I'm going perspective-wise and the kind of things I want to talk about in my music, I think that's a good template for what's to come. So I'd say check it out.
Yeah, actually, having said that, what other plans do you have for the future?
Plans? I wish I had a concrete answer for that. I wish I could say I was hopping on a tour. I wish I could say I was working on an album, but really, I mean, you can expect new music for sure. That's not going to change in a lot of it. I'm definitely planning on just recording a lot and releasing this music. Yeah, I guess we'll start from there, and then hopefully everything else around it works out. But just a lot of new music, and I think you can expect a very fully realized Will Jay, I suppose. I think I've really figured out musically what I want to do, and I really figured out that I can insert my actual life and how my mind works into my music, and I didn't really do that before. And so I guess I'm just looking forward to people seeing that and getting to know me.
Definitely. And do you have anything that you want to say to your audience, specifically Asian Americans?
Yeah, I would say, should I look at the camera for that, or?
It's up to you.
To the Asian American in my audience, thank you for championing me the way you do, and thank you for just reminding me that what I do this for, I suppose. You know, I think when I was 10 years old, I didn't really have anyone to look up to. And this isn't me saying that I'm, you know, anybody by any means, but putting out Leading Man was a good reminder of that there's a 10-year-old me out there who wants to pursue music, wants to be a singer, and doesn't really have anybody to look up to. And so I would love to be that person for the 10-year-old, 11-year-old, my age, anybody out there who needs somebody to champion. And so I would say thank you, and also to never think that you can't do anything that you want to do. Mm-hmm. And I guess to everyone else, just thank you so much for supporting me. And again, same rule applies. If anything you want to do, who's to say you can't do it? So, and stay tuned for new music.